but I'm hoping that I can share some good tips at least. So everybody, I'm assuming, has a VIP group. If you don't, I didn't up until maybe like a year ago. I solely ran on a Facebook business page, which is not the way to go, I have learned, because Facebook does stupid wonky things and it will block you, and it just basically doesn't let people see posts, even within VIP groups, but more so in a business page. So you want to have a VIP group. The reason being, there are ways that you can get people to see your posts. You have a better chance of bumping up your algorithms and having people see your posts and interact on your posts rather than if it was like a business page. So the first thing I always suggest is tell people to set their notifications to all. Because if you don't know when you first join a group, if it's your friend's Epicure group or whatever, it will always default to highlights, which means you're probably going to never or very little see that person's posts. If you go in yourself and change it to, I think it says all posts or all notifications or something, that will start popping up in your feed, number one, and you'll also get like an actual Facebook notification saying that Kate just posted in Team Over the Rainbow. And then you can obviously go and look at it and you're more inclined to see it. So I always suggest for people to do that. I will periodically put that up in my group. So I will put up a post that says like, hey, if you're liking what you see, don't forget to set your notifications to all. If I just hosted a party and had a bunch of new people pop in, I will be like, hey, new members, don't forget, set your notifications to all so you don't miss out on anything. And that just kind of helps to actually get people to see your posts. If you've never posted that before, you could even do like a grow the group giveaway kind of thing. Add this many friends and get entered to win whatever. You could even do like a scent circle. Share a screenshot of set notifications to all and be entered to win, that kind of thing. And that one will seriously help you because people will actually be seeing your posts. It still, though, depends on the Facebook algorithms. So what I've found works for me, I post in my group Monday to Friday. I leave weekends to do nothing because Scentsy's also a business and I just choose not to run it on the weekends. So from Monday to Friday, I will post 1 to 3 times a day in my VIP group. If there's like the clearance sale that we just had or like a brand new launch, I may obviously post more than that, but anywhere from 1 to 3 times a day, I find is that sweet spot. The times of the day that you post those things also matter. People are more likely to look at their phone first thing in the morning. I know like the first thing I do when I roll out of bed is check my messages, check my Facebook, do what I need to do. So from like 7 a.m. to like 9:30 in the morning is a sweet spot to post something. From like 6 p.m. to probably 8 p.m. is another sweet spot to post something because people are home, they've finished their dinner, they're checking their phones. So depending on the times that you post will also help people to see them. In the mornings, I always post some type of good morning post. 99.9% of time, it has nothing to do with Scentsy. Absolutely nothing to do with Scentsy. And the reason that I do that is because you don't want people to think you're a robot, that you're just there to sell, to push items onto them, whatever the case may be. You want to actually like build a relationship with people, build a friendship with people. You want them to know like who you are. Like I want them to know how obsessed I am with my dogs and I have a dog business. I don't want them to just be like, oh, that's the crazy Scentsy lady. So 9 times out of 10, my very first post of the day will be completely Scentsy unrelated. So if you want to post like a Monday meme or a cute picture of your kid or a cute picture of your dog, and just write Happy Tuesday. You could find, like now with the letterboard warmer, I've actually found a lot of those sayings where you could use that too. And you could literally just put like Happy Wednesday and use whatever's written on the letterboard warmer. So you can incorporate Scentsy, but changing it up to be like more personal stuff, it just gets people to feel like, like they get to know you better. It just doesn't seem like it's robotic that you're just posting these things just because you want the sales. So that really works for me. I typically get the most comments and the most likes on my morning post. And even though it may be just, a funny like Wednesday meme about drinking wine, it doesn't matter, right? Because people think it's fun. People think it's funny. They're commenting on it. Once they comment on it, somebody else will comment on it, and it brings up overall the group like algorithms. You can use like Scentsy posts. Like last week I did Thrifty Thursday. So I went through all kinds of the clearance items. You could do like Tip Tuesday, Wax Change Wednesday. There's tons of those ideas on Pinterest, but just what works for me, 99% of the time, I just post like a picture of my dog or something like that. What else? After that, I will typically post, obviously, Scentsy related stuff. And it's hard to come up with stuff to post every day, which I'm sure you guys know, because you don't want to post the same things every day. You don't want to post, boring things. So it's hard to come up with stuff to post. I like when we have launches because you can obviously feature those things, but otherwise you just really have to get creative with it. So another way to do that is going live. I try to go live in my group at least once a week. I don't always get around to it because my schedule's kind of crazy. Some nights I work till like 8 or 9. Sometimes I'm done at 12. It just depends. But if you can, and literally in any condition, like there's times where I have no bra on, no makeup, I'm cleaning my house, and I literally grab my phone and I'm like, hey, look at what I'm using. I'm using my laundry stuff. I'm using my washer whiffs or something like that. And people love it. I do, every time a new catalog launches, I will smell the new scents live and give like my review or like what I think it smells like, and people think it's absolutely hilarious. So stuff like that will also help in your group. People want to see you. They don't just want to see pictures of warmers. They want to actually see you and your face, and going live is like the best way to do that. What else do I have? Another thing that works well is in your posts, tell people what you want them to do. So if it's a picture of 5 new warmers, be like, which one do you like best? Make it a question, tell them how you want them to answer it. So if you're now, Facebook also has that option that it like says asked a question or whatever. But tell them what you want them to do. Tell me which one is your next warmer of choice. Tell me what you're warming today. If you write, tell me, you're probably going to get more responses than if you just put, aren't these warmers nice? Right? Aren't these warmers great? Which one is your favorite? Just the way that you word it, it makes people go, oh, okay, well, I like that one the best. So if you put like literally tell them what you want them to do, it will help in your interaction as well. The best types of posts too, it can be Scentsy related or not, are games, or straight up interactive posts. So I will do a mix of these. If it's a game, I will typically do some type of prize, which is usually, let's be real, a scent circle, which you can always get for free with your rewards, or like samples. You have 1,000,001 testers that you're not using, make up a little baggie of samples, and they still feel like they won. So the best games, and I can probably post these after, Kate, if you want me to in the group. The best games that I have had, the 1 to 100 game. So they have to count from 1 to 100 in order. If somebody says the same number, you start over. Sounds really easy. It took 5 days in my group to get to 100. And there was, I kid you not, at the end of it, like well over 800 comments. So if you want something to get commented on, I'm telling you, play the 1 to 100 game. That one always is like a huge, huge hit. Somebody played Battleship. They posted that in Team Over the Rainbow. And that one did really well in my group as well. And the other one that always works well is similar to 1 to 100, but it's the A to Z game. So I don't know if you guys have played that one, but you can pretty much pick any topic. So pick like, what's your favorite fragrance that you'd like to see in a Scentsy bar? And the first person says apple, the next person says blueberries, the next person says creamsicle, like, and you just go on and on and on. These types of posts, people will comment, they will participate, and they get competitive. And that's what you want, because then that's creating tons of interaction, and then everybody's seeing that post. The more comments that you get, the more likely it is to show up on everybody else's news feeds. So when you have those types of posts, sometimes people are like, well, how come? That makes no sense? Like, that has nothing to do with me selling warmers. It doesn't, but you're getting the interaction up in your group, and you're making your group more visible overall on Facebook, which then will bring people in to see like your Scentsy related stuff. A tip I learned to go along with that, if you post one of those games or interactive posts that get a ton of comments on them, post something Scentsy related right after it, because they are guaranteed to see it. Because if you just had 800 comments on the 1 to 100 game, and the very next thing you post is warmers or a wall fan, everybody is going to see that because of how much interaction was in the previous post, because the algorithms just went way up. So I always try to do like a fun interactive thing and then post something good with Scentsy, and you'll probably get an order from it. Pinterest is great. You can do literally anything, you guys. Like I really do a lot of like 50-50. 50% is like personal stuff, just fun stuff, and then 50% is like Scentsy. So this morning I put one of those posts that was use the predictive text on your phone. So it was like writing your marriage vows. It had over 60 comments on it. Everybody thought it was hilarious. There's like, what is your Bridgerton name? And it's like Lord or Lady of whatever you just ate and the last store you shopped at. Those ones always, people just like it because it's fun. And you'll notice that the people commenting on those are people that don't usually, just because they're like, oh, this has nothing to do with Scentsy, but I like it. And I actually was like, wait, who the heck is that? Like, I've never seen these people comment in my life, didn't know they were in my group, and they're interacting, which is great. And eventually that may lead to a sale. So at least if they're in there and they're commenting and they're interacting, it's a win for me, really. What else do I have to think about or talk about, I should say? Did I miss anything, Kate? Anything that I missed that you want me to talk about? I ramble. I'm sorry. I probably repeated myself.
There was zero rambling, actually. Like, I took
Okay.
notes. Like, oh my, I was like, oh, that's really smart.
Here I am, like my husband walked in and I'm like, oh my God, I'm such a loser. Like,
oh, I can't ever go live or do this in front of my husband either.
oh, it's awkward.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? It's so weird,
So
right?
awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Yeah, that's why I'm like down in my dungeon. I'm in my dungeon office because I'm like, ooh, there's like my whole family is around right now, so I need to just shut the door.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think that you covered everything that we talked about beforehand. So like how many times a week, you even covered exact times to go, like to do all those things. Um, I thought the good morning post, like each morning, was really smart. Like I do that once in a while. I'll do like, it's Friday, like what's going on for your weekend,
Hmm.
like that kind of stuff. But I'm not overly consistent with it. So I thought just doing that every single morning was really smart. And like I said in the comments, it just helps to create community, right? So rather than it
Yep.
just being a Scentsy sales page, you're really sort of creating your own little culture in your VIP page, which is like why people want to be in there, right? And that's why people
Exactly.
stay. So I really like that. That you're really creating like a fun place for people to hang out. And like, Lord knows, you guys, we could use as many fun spaces right now as we can get, right? Because like
Hmm.
bars aren't open. So I'll take what I can get on social media. But even on social media, there's just so much like rampaging and like going on right now that like if I could be in Sam's group and she just makes me like smile every time I go in there, I'm probably going to keep going in there. Right. So think of that from a customer perspective. Is your VIP group something people actually want to like check daily? Or is it something that they'll like she said, like scroll by and be like, meh, or not even see because they don't have their notifications? That's something else I wrote down was that notifications reminder. I have
Hmm.
literally never done that ever. Like,
Yeah.
I've had a VIP group for like 7 years. I've never told people to turn their notifications on. And I've never, I mean, of course, but the idea of the game to do that, like giving out a reward for screenshotting that you've turned your notifications to on, like, doy, that's so smart. Of course, they could probably go back and like turn it to highlights or turn it to off or whatever after. But if you're making it a cool space to hang, then it's there. They might not do that, right? So just to be clear, I know that you follow all the rules, Sam, but just to be clear, because we have some new people in here too, if you guys are giving out prizes for games or interaction or anything like that on social media, make sure that you're not actually saying like what the prize is right in the post, unless it's samples, okay? Because every consultant can give out samples at any time. You can say who wants a deluxe pack of samples or something like that, but you can't say do this and this for a free scent circle. Just be
Hmm.
very like broad about it, okay? Be really neutral about it, you guys. Just say something like a prize, and then you can just tell them what the prize is in PM when they win it. No
Yep.
one really cares. Like as Samantha said, no one gives a flying crap what the prize actually is. People just like to win because people are competitive, right?
I always just say like if it's a game or something like the 1 to 100 game, I'll just say like winner gets a surprise from me and that's it. And you'll get comments just because people want to win whatever it is, like literally whatever it is.
Yeah, they just want to be the winner, right?
Yeah.
Um, and typically when you don't say what it is, like don't you find this too, Samantha? When you just hint at what the prize is going to be, it actually creates a little bit more like drama around it. Like people
Hmm.
get more excited about it when they don't know exactly. Yeah, Michelle's nodding yes, so she's had with this too. I'll do the same thing in my VIP group, or not my VIP groups, doy, in my Scentsy parties, because I do prizes for participation. But I never tell what the prize is because it's honestly, it changes depending on what the party size is. Like, sorry, not sorry, this is a business. If the party doesn't qualify, you're going to get some samples. If the party's a $700 party, I'll probably give you a hand soap. But I don't know that until the party's over. So I don't announce what it's going to be. I mean, you can't anyways, but I don't tell anybody what the price is going to be because I don't know it. Anyways, talking about rambling. Does anybody have yeah, it's what I'm best at. Does
Same.
anybody have any questions for Samantha before we all go? Before we wrap this shindig up? Thank you, Samantha. That was seriously so good. I'm
I hope
literally
so.
going, it
I
was.
did actually miss one thing. I wrote my notes like I told you, and I wrote it in capitals and I missed it. I saw it in a video, and so it's kind of why I base like I always do the good morning posts and stuff like that. it said that you should always share more than sell. So you want to share, that means you're sharing you using the product. That means you're sharing your life. I've created like friendships with people just because of them being in my group and Sensi, and we chit chat, and that leads to, you know, more sales or them joining or whatever. So if you are sharing more than you're selling, it's a win. Like that's how you're going to win.
Yeah, such a good tip. Like how often do you post stock photos like from the workstation?
Never. I like Pinterest. Like I like the real life ones better.
Yeah, same. I just wanted everyone else to hear that.
Yeah.
So it's not
Like
just me.
the only time I post stock photos if it's like a launch and there isn't new ones yet. Otherwise, I don't. I never use stock photos. I will always go to Google or Pinterest. Always.
Right. Yeah, that's really clear. See, it's not just me, you guys. I'm not just mean. I don't just tell you things to hate on you. People do not like just the stock photo of the nothing background. Like she said, Easter collection, what are you supposed to do, right? Like we don't have any other pictures of those bitty buddies. And keep in mind too that whenever I find cool looking images, you guys, I add them to the albums in Team Over the Rainbow. And some of those cool images come from like actual photographers who are superstar directors who share these images in the directors and above pages. So they're really nice stylized images that you guys can use. It's why I post it in there. Okay. So don't come at me asking me if you can use an image. I wouldn't post it in there if I didn't want you to use it. Okay. So make sure that you guys are checking the albums in Team OTR. And I absolutely am obsessed with Pinterest and finding stuff on there too.
Yeah.
Sure. Tony, did you have a question for her?
Just how do you get people to get into your VIP group? Like you ask, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like I have hordes of people in my VIP group. Like my VIP group is sitting close to 200 members, but it's not, you know, like I'm not a director where I have like 600 plus or something crazy. I just try to do it from parties. So within my party, I will always post to join my VIP group at least 2 to 3 times. Probably once in the beginning, once somewhere in the middle, and for sure at the very end. And then any person that places an order from that party, I'll tell them like, hey, by the way, if you haven't already, please join my VIP group. And then you can for sure try the Grow the Group giveaway. Those can be good because you can obviously get the numbers up in there, but sometimes they're hard because sometimes then people, you know, they're like, well, why did you add me to this group I didn't want to be in? So you just kind of have to be careful. But honestly, that's the one thing I struggle with the most is getting people in there. You just have to like parties is where you get those people from, really.
Yeah, like meet the people first and then turn them into
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like any order I get, any outside order I get, I always will be like, hey, don't forget to join my VIP group. If it's like a marketplace thing where I've posted the odd time to like Facebook Marketplace and somebody will message me, I'll invite them into my VIP group as well. So just any opportunity that you see that you have a conversation about it, invite them into your group.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think every customer who's ever purchased from you, whether it's PWS or club or through party, they need an invite. Like you should be inviting every person who's ever purchased from you. And as Sam said, like anybody who's ever gone to an online party of yours or anything like that, they should be invited to whether or not they actually purchase, because sometimes it takes them a couple touch points for them to actually sort of like make that call to give you their money, right? Just to be clear, I'm a star director and I only have a couple hundred people in my group too. So yeah, so you don't need like a whack ton of people. A whack ton? What am I trying to say? Tony, she's like, I've had enough of you. Once a week is enough, Kate. A ton of people in your group in order to have high sales or to be successful. Okay, like just so anyone else like, oh, you have to have 600 people. I know she was being sarcastic, but yeah, you don't like 200 people is actually pretty good. It's pretty maintainable. Like maintainable. Guys, I'm done. I think my brain said like, you're not talking tonight. So it just turned off. Okay. Does anyone else have anything else to ask Samantha before we go? I seriously am going to implement like every single one of these, like for real. Do you schedule out your posts, Sam?
I try to, just because, like I said, my schedule is like insane. So I will usually at least schedule all those good morning ones on like Monday morning or even like Friday or Saturday or something like that. I don't always know what I want to post Scentsy wise. So those I will kind of do during the day when I like think of what I want to post, or if I see a nice picture or something like that.
Right.
But I will for sure always schedule the Monday to Friday good morning ones ahead of time.
Right. That's what got me thinking about it, because it's something very consistent that you already know what you're going to do, basically.
Yeah.
That makes it so much easier. And then you guys like think of that too. So if she knows that she already has something posted tomorrow, for instance, and then her day just goes like crazy and she can't get back to her VIP group for any reason, or she can't post, at least she knows like something's in there for today. So my people have seen my name, they've seen, you know, I've made them smile. So you don't have to be stressed about that if you know you've scheduled things out beforehand, right? So that's smart. Okay, I don't think anyone else has asked any questions. So I am going to wrap this up. And then if you guys have anything else to ask her, like, hi, she's in our team page. So I'm just going to tell them, Samantha, sorry, I'm calling you out. Just tag her, just post and tag her. I know her, she's friendly, she's kind, she's more than willing to help you guys out, okay, with any questions you have. So I loved this. I did record it. I'll get it to YouTube eventually for the people who weren't here live, you guys. But if you don't have any other questions, then we will call it a night, even early. You guys get to go early. I'll dismiss you early. So thank you guys all for being here live. I really, really appreciate it. Samantha, again,
Thanks,
thank you
Sam.
so much for doing this.
You're welcome.
It's really,
I felt like honored, but also terrified because
I hope. Okay, after, like, now that you're done, how do you feel? Was it as terrifying as you thought?
it's not. It's just the fact that like I'm now sitting here being like, did any of that make sense? Like, I feel like I just rambled and stared at my screen. So I don't know. And I feel like I'm so awkward to watch. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
You're not at all. You're a delight. You have a nice background. You're more
Close
professional.
my bed. I'm in my bed. Yeah.
I love it. Is that your wallpaper?
Yeah.
That's gorgeous. I'm like a hot mess. No, I'm
It's the
gonna.
only quiet space I had. So
Yeah, I hear that. Well, until the husband invaded, right?
yeah.
No, thank you so much. And you guys heard it here. Okay. If you feel like you do something really great in your business, I mean, Sam wouldn't be like, I'm amazing at this, but I just sort of know that she was really good at this. So I volunteered her. But if you feel like you do something well in your business, even if you're not an expert, like if you just like kill making samples, please come to me and tell me so that you can lead next time or whenever you feel like it, because Lord knows you guys, coming up with weekly trainings is difficult. Okay. So when you guys do this, not only does it help everyone else, because I am not the expert of everything. So Samantha talking to you guys tonight is going to give you guys more info than if I would have talked about this exact subject. Okay. But it also helps me. So I really, really appreciate it when you guys are willing to sort of put yourselves out there and, kind of be courageous like that. And even though you're scared, you did it anyway. So I'm really, really proud of you. As people are throwing in the chat, you did really well. So I hope that you read that before we end.
Yes, thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, we'll see you guys next Thursday at 8:15 sharp. If you don't already have it, put it in your phone, okay? So you don't forget. Bye, guys.